Hello, people of YouTube. 'Tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, back again to give you all more despair by talking about the first arc of Danganronpa 3, the end of Hope's Peak Academy, the future arc. Now, if you have not seen my introduction to this review, I advise that you go check it out because it'll basically lead into this part. So this is technically the true part one of the review, and so let's just basically get started. So, people of YouTube, where the fuck do I even begin? Because literally I cannot explain the story of this game, of this anime, without first revealing the ending and the plot of Danganronpa 2, and also revealing some critical things in Danganronpa 3 in the story. So, people of YouTube, I'm going to give this flat out. Massive spoiler warning. If you have not played Danganronpa 1, 2, or if you don't know anything about the Danganronpa series in general, don't watch this video. In fact, don't even watch this review because it's not even worth it. Alright? And so, people, I advise you get the fuck out here and don't type in the comments, saying, oh, you spoiled Danganronpa, how dare you. Yeah, no, I'm not having that in this channel. So, basically, leave now, and then come back later. Okay? Starting now. Okay. So the people who probably, already heeded my advice, and so either one of three groups of people are still here. Either A, you heeded my advice, went back, played Danganronpa, or at least watched someone play Danganronpa 1 and 2, and then watched 3 yourself, and then, now you're caught up and everything. Number 2, you already knew what happened, so I didn't need to warn you. Or 3, you ignored my warning, and ergo, you will be spoiled. So, I did warn you all. Anyway, this intro is so long. I gotta get down to this review. So, in the ending of Danganronpa 2, what ended up happening was that the huge twist was that the characters in Danganronpa 2 were in this virtual reality world where it was basically that they were placed in this virtual reality world by an organization called the Future Foundation, and you find out that, the Future Foundation is responsible for putting the characters in Danganronpa 2 in this virtual VR, and apparently the characters in Danganronpa 2 were the cause of the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, and so it's because of these characters that, this whole thing started. So they got placed in a virtual reality world where they revert back to their old selves, and within due time, they would leave the virtual reality and then come back to their senses. That's basically the whole purpose of that arc. But, obviously, it didn't go as well as they planned, and so shit hit the fan. Well, one of the characters that wasn't featured in Danganronpa 1, Makoto Naegi, ended up actually helping these people, called the Remnants of Despair, which was basically the group of characters in Danganronpa 2, into this virtual reality world, and he was basically trying to help them escape and do all these things. And by the way, he's also working for the Future Foundation. I should make that clear. So Makoto basically helped the Remnants of Despair, and so he's being punished for it. So he's being placed on this trial, and so what ended up happening was that the building that the Future Foundation's area was taking place ends up getting overrun by someone who we don't know, and obviously that's a major spoiler, I won't give that away. So it's up to basically Makoto, some of the survivors from Danganronpa 1 make an appearance in here as they try to survive this another killing game plotted by the Monokuma himself, and so basically they have to survive. And so a bunch of crazy shit happened, twists, reveals, characters you grew attached to, but then they die at the end. Oh, it has everything. Everything unexpected in a Danganronpa. Oh, people, it is there. How am I gonna make it through these reviews in one night, people of YouTube? Please wish me luck. Okay, so, people of YouTube. Obviously, I love Danganronpa. That's a no-brainer. I love Danganronpa. So, coming into this third final part of Danganronpa is kind of bittersweet for me, and so I really want to give this a thorough review, and that's why I'm doing a 3-part review. And so, oh boy, so when discussing the future arc in itself, what do I think about the future arc? I fucking love this future arc. I thought it was really, really, really good. So, going through the normal motions of a Crimson Assassin video, what makes Danganronpa 3 The Future Arc so damn good? Well, for starters, and this goes for basically everything in the series, the animation done by Studio Lurch was outstanding. Studio Lurch was basically the guys that gave us the first original Danganronpa animation, as well as, Assassination Classroom. That's the best one. That's the best example I can come with. And so, basically, that same kind of animation that was featured in Assassination Classroom is featured in Danganronpa 3. And they did a fantastic job. Like, my god. The animation blew me away. It almost looked like how it looked in the game, except done a tad bit tweaker. It was definitely more darker, and, definitely it pops out. Like, I really love the animation, the art in this anime. Flawless. It's really good. And that can be said for both the Future, Despair, and Hope arc. They're all good. Animation's solid across the board. With cool character designs along the way. It's solid. Moving on. Okay, the story. The story of Danganronpa 3 The Future arc. My god, it's pretty good. With a lot of interesting twists, turns, reveals, and the whole 9 yards. Characters you grew attached to being killed off on the spot, and the character, you're really rooting for the characters to get out of the situation. You basically will really grow attached to all the characters. I love almost all the characters, with minus a few people who I found very despicable and reprehensible. Definitely characters that you probably wouldn't root for, you kind of ended up rooting for at the end. Definitely a lot of misunderstood characters, and honestly, people of YouTube, this story is such an emotional roller coaster. It had me to the brink of tears, especially in episode 10, because, episode 9 and through 10, holy shit, that was like an emotional roller coaster for me right now. What? It caught me so off guard, and I could not believe what they did in those 2 episodes. Holy shit. Like, seriously, like, that was insane. The whole arc, the Future arc, is incredible. I love this arc to death, people of YouTube. It is so good. The characters in the Future arc, some you really like, some are some returning characters from previous Danganronpas, such as, the survivors from the first Killing Game Danganronpa 1, so you definitely see Kirigiri, you got to see Byakuya, Hagagure, I forgot his name, the fortune teller guy makes an appearance, Toko makes an appearance, the characters from the Ultra Despair Girls series are in it. Basically, every single character up to past, I would say, before V3 happened, is in it. And I fell in love with it. You get to see cameo appearances by the Danganronpa 2 cast, which blew me the fuck away. And speaking of the Danganronpa 2 cast, we'll get into them in the Despair arc, because my god. Okay. And so, the returning characters are solid as ever, but what about the new characters that are introduced exclusively to the Future arc? I really like them. Most of them, at least. But for the majority of them, I really like. A few standout characters, in my opinion, is this guy, Munetaka. My man is an unstoppable force. Definitely a man I do not want to mess with. He is an unstoppable force, waiting to kill, waiting to just someone to piss him off in order to just kill you. Like, this dude is insane. His method, his ideology is just, he's basically the Nagito, except if Nagito was strong, had can use a sword, doesn't rely on luck, and basically was less psychotic. That's basically him. And, obviously no one can go compare to Nagito, but I mean, my god, this guy, unforgettable. Like, there are scenes where he's just hacking, slashing, kicking ass, taking names, and just, my god. And he's just an incredible guy. But he also goes through some of the most interesting character development in Danganronpa. Sure, he kind of is misunderstood. He definitely did not see a lot of shit coming, and it's no wonder why things ended up the way it is, and I wouldn't necessarily blame him for half the things that happened, but let's just say he's definitely an interesting character, and a character will definitely never forget. And also it's funny because I was comparing his design to Yu Narikame from Persona 4 because he literally looks exactly like you. I mean, look at them; they look exactly alike. Except if you had completely white hair and his hair was like up to here. That's basically them. And I definitely like them. Definitely an interesting character, and a character who does not want to be messed with. You don't want to mess with Munetaka. This dude is insane. Another character that stood out to me was Tendon, the co-founder and head chairman of the Future Foundation. This dude also has many layers to his character, and definitely a character you also will never forget. He definitely left quite an impact in the story, and definitely the twist at the end involving this character was insane. Like, my god, I did not see it coming. The story is so good, people. It's so good. So definitely a character who's also another interesting character. Sakura, another interesting character, who also, he gets development in the future arc, but you don't really see that much of that development until you really watch the despair arc. His character really comes into fruition in the despair arc, but even in the future arc, he has given a lot of screen time, a lot of development, and you can definitely tell that him and Munetaka had this huge relationship, like this bromance almost, and you can tell that Sakura definitely had not well, I can't say that, that's spoiler, but you could definitely tell that they had such a strong dynamic relationship, and you really feel that these two characters had a bond, even though there's some crazy shit that happened that I can't reveal. They're just solid characters, and I couldn't believe at the end of the despair arc involving this character. We'll get into that when we get into that, people of YouTube, but my god. Another standout character goes to this one. Again, another Yuki Zome. Another character who does not get enough screen time until basically the despair arc. But trust me, she's also another character you do not want to forget. And I'll go into more depth about her character in the despair arc. So right now, just those characters alone are incredible. There were also a few characters that also was pretty solid as well. Like, I definitely liked Kimura, the ultimate pharmacist, I believe her name was, which is her ultimate, and she definitely had the most tragic backstory. He had a really tragic backstory involving this bitch friend who I fucking did not like throughout the entire, she was the most annoying character in the whole arc. Okay, fuck it, we'll get into that. I think her name was Yaoi. This girl, did not like her, annoying, but damn it, they go through so much character development, and they had such a pretty interesting and salty backstory. And you don't get to see that truly until the despair arc, but even then, when you got to see how they met and just everything about their relationship, it was definitely warranted. You definitely could see, their tragedy and just everything that happened between them. I mean, it's some pretty rough shit, and yeah, they sort of made the anime, but not as much as Munetaka, because that guy's just fucking insane. Okay, the last thing I'll praise about this anime is the action. Believe it or not, Danganronpa with action. I know, but the action in Danganronpa 3, a good End of Hope's Peak Academy, the future arc is amazing. Going back to the animation, it's just amazing, and the action sequences are exhilarating, fun to watch, and really will keep you engaged till the end. So, people of YouTube, I'm talking praise about the future arc, but what are its cons? Well, besides the one character that I mentioned before that I did not like, I really did not like this character a lot. Even if she was trying to, redeem herself, Not really. I did not like this character at all. I felt like she was a very terrible friend. She was a horrible human being. Definitely between her and her boyfriend, I forgot his name because his name was barely mentioned in the anime. Yeah, it sucked. Honestly, they could have just been platonic friends and literally nothing between them would have changed. Definitely an unnecessary relationship. And I feel like if you definitely would have removed that whole subplot between them, probably would have made much of a difference. They all would have died the same way, but at the same time, it was kind of warranted. So, in a way, I don't like them, but at the same time, it was kind of necessary and warranted for the overall plot of the story. But that doesn't mean I like them. They sucked. Heavy. And that's would be pretty much it. I don't really have any issues with the future arc. I really like the future arc. So if I were to rate the future arc on its own, my god, this anime is a 10 out of 10. Like, I love the future arc of Danganronpa. It has a great story, great animation, solid characters, incredible plot reveals, and it's all in all a great installment of the Danganronpa series. And that will basically conclude part 1 of this review. But now, people of YouTube, stay tuned because I plan to do part 2 next time. So until then, people of YouTube, if you would like to see more of this channel, please consider subscribing. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I made a Snapchat. I keep forgetting to mention that. Follow me on Snapchat, people of YouTube. Yeah. That's going to wrap this video up. Till then, people of YouTube, I'll see you in the Despair arc. Peace.